It's time for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by Talking Rocks Cavern. Explore the beauty above and below ground at Talking Rocks Cavern. And the Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Here we are again. It is Wednesday. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great week so far. We're at the midway point, so this is critical.
Yes.
You go either way today.
Yes. And interesting weather today as well. So here's a look at the news, though. Springfield voters overwhelmingly said yes to an additional tax on all recreational marijuana sales. That means an additional 3% sales tax on recreational marijuana on top of the 6% state tax. The revenue from the tax is said to be used for, quote, public safety, mental health services, housing, and substance abuse services. Also, both the city of Branson and Taney County, as well as the city of Buffalo and Dallas County, and many others in the Ozarks, really all over the Ozarks, passed the same type of a tax as well, easily, in most of those cases.
Kind of saw that coming.
Meanwhile, whether Missourians will see the issue of abortion on November's 2024 ballot remains to be seen. Another lawsuit has been filed challenging the cost and the language on the ballot. This is now the third lawsuit challenging, surrounding, abortions in the state and it going to the ballot. At issue, what is the real financial impact if the state allows abortions? And also, how should the ballot language read? Because they sound very different in the two proposed so far, because of course, each side wants to use its own language. So now a judge will hear the case in Cole County in September.
Okay, and the language we know very different from one side to the other, the way that they would refer to this.
At least at this point. I mean, it's still early because there still has to be signatures and all the stuff. But
the city of Springfield wants to invest more than $27 million to make improvements at its sports complexes. Actually, only $14 million would be local taxpayer funds. The other $13.5 million would be federal COVID relief money, which is still being handed out. Improvements to Cooper and Killian sports complexes would be transformational, according to Park Board Director Bob Ballot. They would include new artificial turf fields for 19 soccer, baseball, and softball fields at Cooper. So it's up for a vote before the city council on August 21st. And we'll see what happens there. But, we travel a lot now with our kids playing soccer. Our boy plays soccer. So I'm in Kansas City a lot, St. Louis a lot. And these turf fields are what they play on. It's become the norm everywhere you go. So it is the next phase of athletic fields, especially if you want to draw people to town for tournaments.
right. Well, and even locally, they have competition now with the Betty and Bobby Allison Sports Complex. Sportstown. Yeah. So it's interesting because it's a lot of money. It's taxpayer money, but also, yes,
it brings in a lot of money because
people coming.
I travel almost every weekend in the fall and the spring
and
spend a lot of money in Kansas City and in St. Louis. So it'll be great to have the opportunity.
Listen, if I'm going to get excited about any new facility, it's going to be an indoor 50-meter swimming pool.
Okay. Well, that's still in the works, I think.
Yeah.
You could lobby for that, which you've done successfully maybe here. I don't know. Speaking of working out, the YMCA is getting a new downtown Springfield home. It comes just months after, you'll recall, the YMCA closed and then sold down its 110-year-old downtown home. That's how old the building was.
Yeah.
The new location will be at 323 North Patton Street, just north and west of Park Central Square.
That's interesting. I need to go into that building to see it in my mind's eye, but I'm sure I have. Yeah.
You've seen it before.
All right, now to this. Springfield's newest fire station, station number 13, has been up and running for a few months, but the city just held an official dedication. Firefighters began using the $3.7 million station back in March. It is located on West College Street near Lexington. Okay. All right, Sunrise Beach. Folks, listen up. City Hall is reeling from the resignation of 3 of its governmental leaders. The city clerk, the deputy clerk, and the public works clerk have all resigned in the last couple weeks. Sunrise Beach is now in the process of trying to find their replacements.
Yeah, it's a lot to do in a short amount of time. We told you yesterday about Tyson closing 4 chicken plants in Missouri and in Arkansas combined. Now, this is something. Smithfield Foods, who we've all heard of, the world's largest pork processor, is closing 35 Missouri hog farms. 35. That means more than 90 jobs will be lost, just like that. It's permanently closing farms in Newtown, Lucerne, and Princeton, Missouri, and as they are also trying to cut costs. We've done a lot of stories about companies trying to cut costs. Yellow was one of them, and
Tyson, and now, yes. And food producers, yikes.
Yeah, it's a little bit frightening when you see all those going away. We told you about that new development coming to Republic. We now know the first restaurant signed up to be there. The Roost Bar and Grill will open up inside the $65 million Iron Grain District. That development will offer amenities. It will offer apartments, retail, restaurant space as well. It should open up next spring. And if you're wondering where that is, it is right across from Amazon's big fulfillment center. It'll be very close to Convoy of Hope's new world headquarters that are going in there and will open up in the next couple of months as well.
I've actually not been to the Roost. I have plenty of friends who've been there and really enjoy it. But
they have at least one on Sunshine, I know. There may be others as well.
All right. This is interesting. Walnut Lawn Funeral Home is getting into pet funerals. In fact, it's building a brand new facility to focus solely on the relationship between man and man's best friend. The new facility will offer a chapel, cremation, visitation rooms, as well as a prayer garden, urns, and caskets. This is what really is fascinating. Listen, the global pet funeral services market was valued at $1.6 billion last year.
And growing. You know, it's it's so personal to lose a pet because dogs are man's best friend and cats are good too, I guess. but it's so personal to you whenever you lose a pet that you want to do something to remember the pet, and people have different ways of doing that, obviously. But a lot of people are willing to spend money to put them in a grave with a marker and all of that sort of thing.
I often run by the pet cemetery on the Greenway Trail. Also, interestingly, speaking of pets, my running group and I were talking just the other day about how more hotels and like Airbnbs and the likes are now allowing pets without such steep cost attached to it because there's more competition. And so it's interesting because I don't know if more people got pets during COVID. I think that was the thing. Like we did stories on that, I think. But I don't know. I feel like you're either a pet family or you're not, and so it's just interesting.
I think for a lot of families, more than ever, is that the pet is part of the family, like an active part of the family.
Right.
Whereas you take them on vacation with you, which we have now done.
Yeah.
We took the dog to Colorado last year.
And it was a success. Mr. Forhetz was nervous. He didn't want to do it.
Thrilled about it.
And I was like, what is the problem? We can do this. We can do hard things. And we did. And it was great.
Yeah. I mean, it worked. I don't know. Great is a stretch.
It was great. I took her running at like 4:30 in the morning before we went out and about for the day. She was living her best life. I got her nice and worn out for the day, and then she slept all day.
Is that what happened?
Exactly.
You know that's what happened while we were gone.
She did not
freak out wondering where she is and where we are?
Nope.
Okay.
She was an angel.
Then it all went swimmingly well.
It did. Swimmingly well. All right. This is our last story. Tomorrow, as we have been reminding you, is the beginning of the birthplace of Route 66 Festival in downtown Springfield. Starts at 6:00. We've been highlighting different things that are going to be happening there. And this is a fun one for all you Kansas City Chiefs fans. You can now see the Lombardi Trophy there at the festival. There are 3 opportunities essentially to do so on Friday. So this is it. From 4 to 6 at the Springfield Expo Center. By the way, doors open at 3:30 for the rally there featuring the trophy, the Kingdom Cruiser double-decker bus, Chiefs cheerleaders, the Rumble drumline, and the Chiefs mascot, Casey Wolf, and more. Also on Friday, starting at 6:30 p.m., you can watch the trophy ride by in the parade along College Street from Grant Avenue to Jefferson Avenue. the Kingdom Cruiser bus is going to carry the Lombardi Trophy on it during that parade. And then lastly, on Friday at 7, on the Aaron Sachs stage at the corner of Jefferson and McDaniel, the cheerleaders and drumline will perform and give the public one last chance to see it.
Okay, well, there are lots of options then, aren't there?
All on Friday and kind of back to back to back. So do you want to go to the Expo Center? Do you want to watch it ride by in the parade? Or do you want to go to the Aaron Sachs stage and just get a glimpse?
Wave at the trophy as it drives by.
It might throw candy at you. I don't know. Anyway, it is kind of cool.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. And I mean, honestly, I do love the festival. It really is a fun one. It's cool to see all the awesome cars. And we told you about the talent show. Ethan's going to be
all kinds of stuff.
I'm sure a star, always.
Oh, is that what you're okay. We're also celebrating 1 year of Around the Ozarks in 5. We're thrilled to be doing the podcast now for more than a year, which is crazy to talk about and think. But we're giving away a $100 gift card for Jim's Steakhouse, which that's a pretty nice gift.
It's good. It's tasty. I've been there a couple times actually on Glenstone. If you go to aroundtheozarks.com and subscribe to our podcast, you can enter for your chance to win that $100 gift card. And happy anniversary to us. That's exciting. And it's all because you have made it a success. We were kind of giving it a year to see if it took off, and it did. So thanks. Tune in and also share with your friends if you can. Help us out. Let them know. You can find us on Facebook, of course, and then on any social media platform. But also we are on all podcast platforms. So if you have wherever you get podcasts onto your cell phone, be it Apple or Android, we are there in the App Store.
And you can listen on those platforms, but on Facebook, you can watch the video as well because we're recording this. We're on camera right now.
Except for there's nothing to see here.
nothing to see here. We're away, so this is what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
But we'll be back at our normal spot on Monday morning. But yeah, you can. You have the option of watching. You can just listen if you like. It's up to you. And we've now added Abby Dyer to the podcast family. And today's a good day to check out her podcast immediately following this one. Hers is Wake Up Weather with meteorologist Abby Dyer. You want to find out what's going to happen today because there's a chance that a lot could happen.
Yes, no doubt. So check it out. And thank you so much for your time. We hope you have a great Wednesday.
Indeed we do. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Bye.